You're already familiar with metric units of weight, and today we're going to talk about customary units of weight. So metric units of weight we've discussed before. Do you remember what those would be? The base unit is grams. And then we also talked a lot about kilograms. So that's the most common, grams and kilograms, but they'll always have grams as the base. Now, when we think about US customary units of weight, you might picture a scale here that you stand on and at the doctor's office or maybe at your house, and that's going to measure how many pounds you are, right? Or the abbreviation is LBS. You might also be thinking of ounces. And we might also think of an even larger one, the ton. So those are the measurements we'll focus on today. Now let's get a sense, how big are these actually? Here's some fun facts. So a giraffe or a car weighs about 1 ton, which is equal to 2,000 pounds. So large and heavy. 4 sticks of butter or an adult shoe would weigh about 1 pound, which we know is 16 ounces. And a slice of bread, a letter, or a CD, those would just be about 1 ounce. So picture holding a letter in your hand or a slice of bread, right? Not a lot of weight there. And if you've ever gone to the grocery store and you weigh your fresh fruits and vegetables, it'll weigh them in pounds and ounces. And that can also be a good way for you to get familiar with what the units are, right? If you're holding the batch of bananas in your hands, you can feel it, and then you measure it, and it'll tell you this is 2 pounds of bananas. So that's another way to get a good sense for what these units actually mean. Now, let's use some measurement scales. So different from the scale we just saw in the picture up here, a measurement scale, again, helps us to convert between two different units. So this top one lists pounds and ounces, and we could use that, say we knew something was 5 pounds, we want to know how many ounces is that. We just look that 5 pounds was 80 ounces. You can also use this one, but it converts between tons and pounds. And as we said in the previous slide, 1 ton is actually 2,000 pounds, quite large. So I want you to please pause the video and try out these conversion problems on your own. You can look back at the scales to help you and also use your knowledge of multiplication, and you might use addition at some points to help you convert. Play the video back when you're ready to see the answer. So we know 1 ton, I gotta get my pen back, 1 ton is the same as 2,000 pounds. So 5 tons, I could use my conversion scale for this, would be 10,000 pounds. Then I need to think, 6 tons, what would that be? Well, if 1 pound was 2,000, I could just simply add, I added 1 pound, right? Added 1 ton, so that means I'll add 2,000 more pounds. You should have gotten 12,000 pounds. Another way you could have arrived at that solution is, say, 6 tons times 2,000 pounds in each brings you to 6 times 2 is 12, and then 3 zeros in my factor, 3 zeros in my product, brings you to 12,000 that way. Now this was a little bit trickier. You had to use your fractions knowledge, because here we're going to have a part of a whole, right? 1,000 pounds, so if I put it on my scale here, 1,000, you notice that's halfway between 0 and 1, so that's only half a ton. I'm going to write it in a decimal form as 5/10 of a ton, or you could have written it as half a ton. Now 1 pound, we know that's 16 ounces. That's one I want you to, these two are ones I want you to memorize. Know that 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds and 1 pound equals 16 ounces. Then if we thought to 9 pounds, okay, 9 pounds was 144 ounces. And now what if you only had 4 ounces and we need to know how many pounds that is? Again, it's part of a whole. right? We only have 4 ounces when a whole pound has 16. So you could have said 4/16 of a pound, or better yet, let's reduce that fraction. Divide by 4 in the numerator. Whatever I divide by in the numerator, I have to divide by in the denominator. That's what the equivalent fractions rule tells me. So I see that 4/16 is the same as 1/4. So this is just 1/4 a pound. You could also plot it on your scale up here, right? And picture 4, 8, so that would be 4, 8, 12, 16 in ounces, and that's going up 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and then a whole. Okay, now we're going to apply this knowledge to a word problem. Beaker picked 4 bags of apples. Each bag weighed 2 pounds. How many ounces do the 4 bags weigh? So what is your question? Say it with me. How many ounces do the 4 bags weigh? How were they trying to be tricky here? Did you notice the key word? Yes, the answer they wanted in ounces, but the units given were pounds. Okay, so now we understand what it's asking. So my plan is going to be to first find how many pounds, and then I will convert to ounces. Okay, so now I have my plan. So how many pounds? 4 bags of apples, each weighing 2 pounds. So if there are 4 bags and they each weighed 2 pounds, I'm going to use multiplication to figure out that she had 8 pounds. And now I'm ready. I will not get tricked by this problem. Ready to convert it to ounces. So I know that 1 pound is 16 ounces. So I'm going to do 16 times 8, or you could look back on the conversion scale, but let's just do it this way. 6 times 8 equals 48. Put down the 8, regroup the 4. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 more, 12. So in total, it's 128 ounces. So as you work today, be careful to pay attention to your units and enjoy practicing your conversions.